Whoop, 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 whoop. Good effort though, good effort. Right, now let you have a rest.
Great, thank you.
I could do with the practice. I've barely picked up a bike in my life, so. Okay, hi guys, how's it going? And welcome to chapter 7 of my little TET exploration around Cornwall. So this one goes from Bodmin up to Launceston, near the Devon border. And so this chapter has 6 main off-road sections. A couple of those are split up into little short sections, but essentially 6 main sections. And I have to say, the TET is definitely getting harder up here than what I've had so far further south. And there's a couple of factors to that. I'm on a new bike, so I'm getting used to a bigger, heavier bike, on stock tyres as well. So yeah, that was probably a big factor there. So I'm being a little bit wimpy while I get used to it. Secondly, even though it was a dry day, clearly the area's had a bit of rain, so there was some serious grip issues for me, especially on my stock tyres. I could have done with something a bit more knobbly, definitely. So with that in mind, excuses out of the way, I have to admit that there was a bit of the TET here that defeated me and I said no to. It's the first time that's happened. So section 3 just here. We'll come on to that shortly. Let's go through the sections from the start and I'll point out a couple of other points of interest worth knowing about along this chapter. So, section 1. Bit slippy, but no big issues here at first. Then a little bit further along it does get very slippy and very rutty, and it seems to go on for longer than you expect, this bit. Oh shit, you alright? That's a bit scary. Luckily the rutty, slippy bit isn't on the hill, it is more vaguely flat. But yeah, really very, very slippy, especially for me on the stock tyres. I would just say maybe just don't do this section if your tyres aren't suitable, because it's not massively testing, it just, well, for us at least, it was just incredibly slippy. And we were moving more sideways than we were forward for some of it. This is horrible. This is unbelievably slippy. Barely moving. Whew. Jesus Christ. This is hard fucking work. Okay, this is not too bad. Section 2. It was a fun little run. The very exit to this section was really boggy, and you either had to blat through the middle like my riding partner did and a bit of a tumble, or go along the side like a big wimp like I did, because I was just I was barely getting any traction at all. So I was just using, you know, I wanted to put my leg on the left-hand side just to give myself, you know, a bit of a brace because the back end was just scooting all over the place. Whoop, 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 whoop. That was too much gusto. Good effort though, good effort. Right, now let you have a rest.
Blake, thank you.
I could do with the practice. I've barely picked up a bike in my life. So well, is that how you do it from the handlebars?
Well, I can only do it by the handlebars, but they recommend you do it from there, and yes, but I can never do that.
Oh, that's not too bad.
No, mine isn't.
Now, so section 3. This is what I said no to. Like I said, it's the first time I've said no to any of the TET. But what it is, it's a really rather long downhill run over slippy, awkward sort of slabs, all sort of jutting this way and that. I'm pretty sure if it was going the other way and I was going uphill and not down, I would have been fine. But being on the, you know, the bigger, heavier bike that I'm still not used to, with tires that were I was really struggling with traction. I just said no to these tires on these sort of smooth, slippy-ish rocks going downhill for a very long time. So yeah, we had extra calls to think twice about this route as well, because the last time my riding partner came down here, her riding partner ended up falling and breaking his foot and going to hospital. So the whole kind of run had a bit of a foreboding feel to it even before we got there, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, I think for the experienced guys this will be absolutely fine, but maybe just have a little look at it before you commit, because once you start down here it's too narrow to turn around. So once you start, you're going and it's kind of longer than you expect, and it's, you know, downhill all the way basically.
I'm equally happy to not do it.
As this is my first proper go on the bike,
we found a little way around. I will come back to this in the future, and I will definitely do it because I want to do all of the TET in Cornwall, but for this run on my brand new bike I chickened out. Sorry guys.
Chances are, yeah, I don't think this is as bad as the Pink Panther from looking at that video. I mean, this is pretty rough.
Yes, but I think the Pink Panther's got more like loose boulders on it, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, this would definitely be the worst bit I've ever done if I do it.
Right.
And then
you really, once you start, you're committed. You can't really turn around.
And then it looks very pretty. Definitely some grippier tyres would help, just on the back wheel, just so you've got a little bit of an anchor, do you know what I mean? So you're not just sliding sideways all the time. Because there's so many little, you can sort of pick your line.
Yes.
And it looks doable. But it only takes one little slip, and then you're immediately off your line and sort of tumbling over the wrong side of the bike down the hill.
You've really got to stay in good control the whole time.
And it's a bit relentless as well, isn't it?
It is. It goes on for a long time.
Yeah, it's not like sort of 5 yards and then you're fine. It's,
as you say, you could literally just go for it a bit. You do
yikes.
have to be prepared to stick it out.
Oh, I think if I was on my other bike, I think if I was on my other bike, I would be alright.
Right.
But not to say that this bike isn't capable, it's just I'm not used to the weight.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure it's more than capable.
I'm pooped.
Yes.
Let's find a nice easy route around this.
Absolutely.
Oh well.
Okay, so on that point, while we're on that section there, it's worth knowing that just next to this run, the run that I said no to, there's an even harder route, which I didn't even look at, but that's known as the Pink Panther. It's not technically part of the TET, but it runs parallel to it. So I would recommend, there's a link in the description of this video to some guys handling the Pink Panther, so you can have a look at that. It's kind of similar to the run that I said no to, but basically I think it has more loose boulders and it's less sort of slippy rocks. But yeah, it looks pretty hellish as well. So I would, if you're really into your hard stuff, I would say give it a go. But for me, I didn't even look at it. Okay, so now section 4. Now I quite like this. It was a little bit challenging and much steeper than it looks in the video. There's some kind of like little cracks and little gullies and things that your wheels can sort of track along and sort of pull you this way and that. And it's kind of hiding under the leaves as well. So really try and pay attention to what your wheels are doing. We had a couple of little mini instance here, but I actually quite enjoyed this little run. Nothing too bad. Like I said, definitely steeper than it looks in the video, but I enjoyed this one.
Oh shit, you okay? Oh, do you want a hand? Right, okay, let me see if I can get you over this little skiddy bit. You ready? There we go. Stuck in. Harder than it looked.
Now, section 5. This was okay. It is another rutty one, and the ruts are a bit awkward in terms of you have one right in the bush and then one in the middle, which is a bit sort of teeter-totter and slippy, or you have you can go along the edge and sort of plough through the foliage, which is a safer bet, but you might get a branch to sort of pull your handlebars or something. But it was okay. No big deal.
Oh shit. One, two, three. Oh, that's a bit of a high one, that one, isn't it?
Yes.
There you go. Wasn't too bad.
And this is kind of split into two parts. The second part is a little bit awkward too, because you have a kind of a bit of a bank going along one side of it, and if it's slippy, your wheels just keep on sort of slipping into the water. So you can choose the sort of the grippy dirt, but then you get a slippy bit, and then you end up falling into the little trench, the little kind of little mini stream. So it might be worth just staying in the stream all the way up, which is more rocky and slippier, but at least your wheels aren't going to slip anywhere. So yeah, it was okay, but a little bit challenging in a couple of places.
Might be better off on the water. Go easy, Sue, go easy. Well done. Bloody hell.
So before we get to the final 6th off-road section, I think it's worth pointing out a couple of areas around Minions that are kind of quite nice if you're into in your tourist mode. Firstly, there's loads of sort of sheep and wild horses and stuff around here, and it's generally just a nice area to ride through, a nice, very pretty area. There's a couple of things that nearby that are worth checking out. You've got Stowe's Hill, or Stowes Hill, maybe it's how you pronounce it. And then you've got the Hurler's Stone Circles as well. So I think it's worth checking out those. And plus there's a couple of nice pubs, and it's just generally a nice area to ride through and kind of stop and chill out at. So yeah, have a look at that. Then the final off-road bit, the 6th section, I found to be pretty fun. A little stream crossing and a bit loose in places, but overall kind of grippy and kind of quite fun really. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this, no problems at all. Woo. A moment. Okay. And then after that final sort of off-road section, it's just a few roads up to Launceston, and then you're pretty much at the Devon border a little bit further, so no more challenging bits. Then at this point I drove south and then picked up the TET on the southerly run going back the other way, but that will be for the chapter 8 video, so we won't get into that here. Anyway guys, so there you go, that was chapter 7. Like I said, definitely a couple of bits here that are, you know, more challenging than anything I've seen further south down at Cornwall. I kind of heard the rumours before that, you know, it does get harder the further up you go, and that's definitely true. So if you're coming down the other way, just bear in mind that, you know, there's nothing too worrying further down, you know, towards the end of Cornwall. The harder stuff does seem to be towards the top, in my opinion. You know, maybe conditions and bike and things like that are factors there. But anyway, guys, I'll leave it there, and I hope this was useful, and I'll catch you on the next vid. Cheers, guys.